Okay, we will call the meeting to order. And Claire, may we have a roll call, please?
Fuller?
Here.
Monmouth? Goodman?
Here.
Ashkenazi? Shimura?
Here.
Canero?
Here.
Kaplan? Here. Lineski?
Here.
Kelly?
Here.
Paramatica? Chairwoman Beal?
Here. Okay, and if we can stand for the salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the notice requirements of the open public meeting law for this meeting have been satisfied. A copy of the notice having been sent to the Asbury Park Press and the Coaster and filed in the office of the Township Clerk on July 21st, 2023. There is an emergency exit through the courtroom doors and 2 exits at the rear of the room. There will be no smoking, no new cases will be started after 10 o'clock p.m., and no new testimony taken after 10:30 p.m. In addition, the applicant will be limited to 45 minutes of testimony. All meetings will be video and audio taped and shown on the Township of Ocean's Community Cable Channel, Channel 22, on Verizon Fios, and Channel 77 on Cablevision. All cell phones must be turned off, or if you need to make a call, please make your call outside the room. We have resolutions for memorialization. Jason Tate, Block 180, Lots 1 and 2, 1900 Sunset Avenue, Ocean, bulk variance approval. Antonius Kutsabus, Block 38, Lot 95, 4 William Lane, Ocean, variance approval. And Keith Garaluk, Block 129, Lot 22, 1313 Garvin Avenue, Ocean, bulk variance approval. And I will offer.
I'll second.
Fuller?
Here. No. Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Still here.
Still present.
Yes. Shimura?
I can't, right?
You weren't here yet.
I wasn't here.
You didn't vote on these resolutions originally?
He was. He did.
You didn't vote on these resolutions?
No,
I mean, on the case?
no.
No, you're right.
This was one for
Not
last one.
eligible.
Canero?
Yes.
Kaplan? Yes.
I wasn't here.
Kelly?
Yes.
Chairwoman Beal?
Yes. Okay. Cases carried to December 21st, 2023 to be held in the public meeting room, Municipal Building Deal in Monmouth Roads in Oakhurst, Ashkenazi, Block 11.01, Lot 3, 1036 Norwood Avenue in Ocean, Memo Investments LLC, Block 7, Lot 51, 44 Monmouth Road in Oakhurst. And we have minutes for approval December 15th, 2022 and January 26th, 2023.
We're offering the minutes?
Yes.
But
I'll offer.
I
I believe I
probably
was
needs to be
here.
offered separately because there's different votes.
Okay, so December 15th, 2022, I'll offer.
I'll second.
Fuller?
Yes.
Ashkenazi? And Chairwoman Beal?
Yes. Okay, January 26th, 2023, I'll offer.
I'll second.
Can he second? He wasn't here.
I wasn't here. January.
No. He'll withdraw his second.
I will.
But he's still here. He's still here.
I'll second if I was there.
I'll second.
No idea if I was there.
That far.
It's a long time ago.
It's in January, right? Any
Canero?
members?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes.
Chairwoman Beal?
Yes. Okay. We have our first case, Solomon Abadi, Block 63, Lot 7, 511 Monmouth Road, West Allenhurst, R5. Applicant seeks approval to construct a second-story addition with covered front porch, uncovered side porch, and circular driveway. This lot does not meet the required lot depth, nor does it meet the required front yard setbacks on both Monmouth Road and Myrtle Avenue and the rear yard setback. Okay, Mr. Beatty?
Yes.
Okay. Can you raise your right hand? Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth?
Yes.
Okay.
One.
And yes. And we're going to mark the packet
One.
B1. And I will ask Mr. Higgins.
Yeah, but I'll summarize my report. Basically, it's a corner lot on Myrtle and Monmouth Road. It's irregularly shaped. There are existing setback violations or nonconformities with the front, the side, and the rear. And they're simply extending the house vertically up. It's a one-story house. They're going up vertically at those setback points. So technically, there are setback variances required because they're increasing the height of the house within the required setback. The other issue that I had with this application is that the ordinance says that the driveway access should be only from the street of lesser classification, and that the driveway be located at least 50 feet or 2/3 of the lot width, whichever is less from the corner. Originally, they were proposing the driveway to be a circular driveway on Monmouth Road, and they changed that now to have a circular driveway on Myrtle Avenue, which is the street of lesser classification. So that part of the variance is gone. One of the accesses for that circular driveway is within 50 feet of the intersection of Monmouth and Myrtle, so there's still a variance necessary for that. But when you look at the site and you look at the house, if they don't do a circular driveway like that, they can't put the required parking on the site. So it makes sense to do what they're doing, and I don't think it's something that's that bad. I think it's really a better solution than having a wide driveway 50 feet away where cars just pull straight in and then back out.
Okay. Mr. Matlock?
The only comment that I have was that the project disturbs more than 200 square feet, which the township requires a grading plan when that happens. One has not been submitted, but I would say that it could be a condition of approval if the board feels that way to have it submitted for review.
Okay. Mr. Beatty, can you tell us about your request?
Regards to?
I'm sorry?
In regards to
Just give us a summary of what you're requesting to do.
circular driveway on Myrtle Avenue. That's basically and we also want to extend the second floor.
Okay.
What are you building? What are you going to be building? Who's this gentleman?
What's top?
Pardon me?
His architect.
Why don't we swear in the architect?
Can you state your full name, please?
Thomas Lavin with Robert Hazelrig and Associates Architects, 3430 Sunset Avenue.
And have you testified before this board
Yes, I
before?
have.
Okay. And can you tell us just a little bit about your credentials, please?
I'm licensed in the state of New Jersey, graduate of NJIT. Been practicing as a licensed architect since 2007. Testified before this board, numerous boards
Okay.
in this area.
Okay. Can you tell us about the request, please?
Sure. I guess I can describe it from this. They basically have a 1950s Cape Cod, which was 4 bedrooms and limited space. The house is on a crawl space and has no attic, so they have limited space. The garage, one-car garage was previous owner took part of that space to create a laundry room and a pantry, so there's no parking in the garage. So there's technically only one parking spot right now. So that's why they want to do the circular drive to add more parking spots. They want to raise the second floor because the 2 bedrooms on the second floor are under, it's a Cape Cod, so the portions of the room are under the roof, so it has limited space. So by raising the full second floor, they can get more bedrooms up there and that, and they can bring everything up to date. Like I said, it's a 1950s house.
How many bedrooms will you have in total?
There will be 5. Currently 4, 2 on the first floor, 2 on the second floor. There'll be 1 on the first floor now and 4 on the second floor. So they're adding 1. So that is the only increase to the building coverage is they'd like to put a roof on the front porch. That's one increase, and that's it. The rest of it meets the requirements as far as building coverage and public dwelling coverage.
That roof does that push into any of the setbacks?
Yes, the porch is already in the front yard setback,
Is it gonna be further?
yes.
Well, the porch itself is in the setback, but the roof is gonna be over the porch.
So it becomes
by-
a-
By putting the roof over it.
Right.
So that would be the front yard setback.
Yeah.
It's currently 20.11,
Yes,
and it's gonna be 20.5? No.
The
No.
current is 2511 to the house and 20.11 to the porch.
on porch, yeah.
So the
And there's-
porch-
But the porch doesn't,
Porch currently doesn't have a roof, they'd like to
right, so
add
it's not counted, right?
What?
It's not counted in the
Now,
front yard?
well, I think as far as the setback goes, the zoning officer does count the measurement to the
Okay,
porch as.
so the porch won't be expanded, it'll just have a
That's
roof?
correct, yes.
Okay.
Now, is it correct? I see 2 porches though?
There's one
Where?
on Myrtle and one on Monmouth.
Okay.
Front one on Myrtle, there's a side one on, the front one is on Monmouth, there's a side one on Myrtle.
The one we're talking about is the,
The one on Monmouth,
on Monmouth, and the other Myrtle will stay the same, right?
right, it's uncovered.
Okay. Okay, any questions from the board?
A quick question. The houses around in the surrounding area, they're all from the same era, I assume. Have others been improved in the same way, or others, in the same neighborhood, 2 stories now?
Yes.
It's gonna be keeping with the character of,
This one has been done.
Any other questions from the board? Okay, question.
How are we gonna finish the exterior?
On the, everything's being redone, it's gonna be done in the stucco finish, new style. Currently, they're all, aluminum sides.
Right, so it's gonna be resided and a new roof?
Everything will be redone.
And a new roof, so everything will match?
New roofs,
Okay.
yep, because we're adding a full second floor.
Any other questions? Questions from the public? Okay. Motion to close the public hearing.
make a motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
Kimura,
Yes.
DeGenaro,
Yes.
Kaplan. Yes. Janeski,
Yes.
Fujielli,
Yes.
and Chairwoman.
Yes. Okay, and someone offer regarding the front yard setback, side yard, rear yard with the grading plan, if I'm not mistaken.
And there's an,
Driveway.
And the circuit, the driveway.
the driveway within 50 feet of the intersection,
Yeah.
but there's also a requirement in Jim's letter, some other additions on the plan. Some measurements and stuff that you want on the plan.
No, I think they changed that, my initial letter, okay.
So you don't need that?
No,
Okay, wouldn't know that.
okay,
Tell me.
okay.
So that's
Okay.
out. Okay. No,
I'll make a motion of positive resolution.
I'll second.
that's the other comment.
Yes.
That's the old-
Yes.
Kimura,
Yes.
DeGenaro,
Yes.
Janeski,
Yes.
Fujielli,
Yes.
Chairwoman Deal.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next case is Isaac and Michelle Michon, Block 8.01, Lot 20, 5 Tulip Court, Oakhurst, R1. Applicant seeks approval to construct a detached cabana within the rear yard setback. The proposed in-ground pool is conforming. Minimum rear yard setback for accessory building exceeding 150 square feet in area. Minimum setback requirements of the principal building, or 40 feet rear yard setback required. 13 feet proposed, and attorney is Jennifer S. Krimko.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. Jennifer Krimko on behalf of the applicant.
Okay, and Mr. Higgin, and we're gonna mark the packet.
Basically, they have a garage, and it's non-conforming because it's more than 150 square feet in area and higher than 10 feet in height. Well, it's a garage now, but they want to change to a cabana, right? Oh, no, I'm sorry, okay, I'm thinking, I'm on the wrong application. Yeah, that's right, yeah.
I was
That's
trying
right.
so hard.
Okay, yeah, it's a cabana that they want to construct. It's 1,082 square feet. And basically, it's larger than 150 square feet in area and 10 feet in height. The ordinance requires minimum setbacks of 40 feet per rear yard setback, and a 13-foot rear yard setback is proposed. When I looked at it, I mean, they could put it in a fully conforming location, and I think doing that would, first of all, reduce its ability to relate to the pool, but more importantly, have more of a visual impact. If they turned the building and had a 48-foot wall, 10 feet from the property line, which is required, and the other wall well, I'm sorry, the wall, let me read it because now I'm getting confused. Okay, yes, the end of the cabana faces the rear property line and is 21.5 feet wide, and the height is approximately 10 feet. There's also a solid arborvitae screen 14 feet tall along the property line. And consequently, well, this is a large cabana, the visual impact is far less than if the 48-foot length of the cabana faced the rear property line. Even if it was 40 feet away, that's a much wider. It can't be seen from the adjacent properties, so I don't think it's a major issue.
Okay, Mr. Matlack?
My only comment was that there was potentially a drainage issue that I noted on the plan, and that the grading should be revised to promote positive drainage, and that was it.
We can stipulate to that.
Okay.
And just,
Krimko.
thank you, and just very quickly, A1 is the survey that was submitted, A2 is the plot plan that was submitted, and A3 are the architectural plans that were submitted. And then as A4, it's just an aerial from Google Earth that I downloaded. And as you see, the subject property is marked in red. The swimming pool is not in yet in this photo, but when you look at the plan, you can get the general idea of where it's going to be. And as you see, while we do need a rear yard setback variance, it's up against a tennis court in the lot behind us, a tennis court on the lot adjacent to that, and a pool and what appears to be a pool house or garage on the property next door. So Jim really gave the testimony for us that this is a better zoning alternative than a conforming one, based on the conforming one having more of an impact. I wanted to make sure you understood that from a negative criteria standpoint, there really is virtually no impact at all. I do have the engineer here. I don't know that there's much for him to add because we're going to comply. I have the architect here, and she could just, if you'd like, walk you through the plan to see. It's not a solid structure. There are 2 enclosed areas, and it's generally an open structure in the other areas. So I'd like to call up Ankela. And then obviously Chet is here if you have any questions on the engineering. Have her sworn.
And I'm sorry, can you state your first and last name?
Sure. Enkela Malelari, Enkela, and last name Malellari.
Melalari. Okay. And do you, if you can raise your right hand, do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth?
I do.
Okay.
And then Kelly, you're a licensed architect, state of New Jersey, and your license is in good standing?
Correct.
And you've testified here before, correct?
Not before the
Okay,
board.
you've testified before numerous boards throughout the state.
Correct.
And I just learned tonight, you teach architecture at NJIT.
Yes, I do.
I think we'll accept.
All right, thank you. And Kelly, if you could take that microphone over there, and I had indicated that the structure itself is not fully enclosed. There are two small enclosed areas on either side, if you could just point those out.
Correct. So we have this area that what's just a small kitchenette for warming food, and then a laundry area and a bathroom back here, and then a small changing area. So really the only enclosed spaces are in the back left and right corners.
So the back right corner
Mhm.
is the one that needs the setback variance relief from the rear yard.
Correct.
And that area in question, what are the dimensions of that enclosed area?
So the laundry area is 6'7" by 14'2".
Right, so it's relatively small, it's only 10 feet high, and then you can virtually see through the cabana along the entire front portion.
Correct. So if you see in these elevations, this is pretty much open.
And the
Correct.
only solid wall is the long wall, and that's meets the setback against the side property line.
Correct.
I mean, I could go on, but I see there's other people, so if there's any
You said it
questions.
meets the setback?
It does on the side, yes.
Any questions from the board?
There was
Okay.
questions about the pool equipment and where that's going. I don't know
It'll
if
be in
that's
a
for the
conforming location.
Okay, any questions from the public? Okay,
That's all I have, Madam Chair.
alrighty. Motion to,
I'll
you
make a
do.
motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
I know.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Yes.
Nero,
Yes.
Kaplan,
Yes.
Janeski,
Yes.
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes. Okay, will someone offer?
I'll offer positive resolution.
Second.
Okay.
So you're next.
BoA,
Yes.
Rubin,
Yes.
Nero,
Yes.
Kaplan,
Yes.
Janeski,
Yes.
Udielli,
Yes.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Thank you very much, and happy Thanksgiving to
Thank
everybody.
you.
Did you want,
Same.
that was your agenda, that was in a sack of
I
papers,
mean,
I'll toss it.
you don't have to, I think.
Okay, then, excuse me, next case, Tamara Dolbris, block 33.23, lot 2, 1901 Waverly Street, Oakhurst, R4. Applicant seeks approval to keep the existing in-ground pool patio, pool equipment, and fire pit within the required front, side, and rear yard setbacks that were constructed in violation of the zoning approval.
Just for the record, I have to disqualify myself because she was my daughter's neighbor.
We have your report, thank you. Okay, Ms. Dolbris, if you can raise your right hand, do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth?
Yes.
Okay. And I will ask Mr. Matlack if
We
you
get the
can.
packet.
And we're going to mark the packet. B1.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So this application is to clean up work that was previously done. There was a pool installed in the backyard with a paver patio and a fire pit. There are setback variances required for the accessory structures, the swimming pool and the patio. They're required to maintain 30 feet from the front yard setback and 10 feet from the side and rear yard setbacks. And the pool patio is 28 feet to the front yard. It's 27 feet to the pool equipment, and then 4 feet to the side from the side yard to the patio, and 4 feet to the fire pit, and 3 feet from the rear yard to the patio. So those are the variances required. The property is on a corner lot, so there is the issue of having two 30-foot front yard setbacks, which kind of reduces the building envelope that is available. I'll ask the applicant, is there a fence around the pool?
No, here it is, but I don't.
No, not around the pool, but
Well, around the backyard.
yes,
And is that I see it's existing 6-foot PVC fence. Is that a solid fence?
yes.
So you can't see the pool or the patio or anything from the street or from your neighbor's properties?
No.
And from an engineering standpoint, I noted in my report that the proposed development results in an increase in impervious surface. It doesn't exceed the maximum impervious. It's not a major development, so it does not have to comply with the DEP stormwater regulations. But I would just ask if the new impervious would have any impacts on the neighboring properties. Have you had any drainage issues as a result of the installation?
No drainage issue. I checked with my neighbor. There's no drainage, and we have a lot of friends. And I also have a like a water garden on this side, and the water just goes straight to the
Okay.
That's what
Any-
And I don't have any other questions or concerns.
This is, that's what you're reading.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Dolbers, can you just tell us about your,
What happened? Yeah. I think she had some problems with the contractor. I think they want to know that.
can you just tell us about your request, the previous issue, and what's leading you to come here today?
My request is I'm seeking approval to keep the existing in-ground pool, the patio, the pool equipment, the pool wood fire pit, and the surrounding area within the front, the side, the rear yard setback. When the constructor built the pool, he told me that we had concrete before around the pool. And he said for the fire pit, I did not, because it's paver, we did not need to get a permit. I kept asking him, are you sure? Are you sure? He said yes, and he's the professional since that's what he did. And I believed him, and then later on, when they come for inspection, that's when I find out that I needed a permit for the fire pit. The fire pit, we built the fire pit. I built the wall because of the fence to make sure that just in case there is any sparkle, like the wall will stop anything going close to the fence. We had originally had mulch, and I removed that. I put all stone down, so just in case for any type of emergency, to protect the safety of the public. And that's basically it.
Okay. Are there any questions from the board? Questions from the public? Okay, motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to close public hearing.
Second.
Fuller,
Yes.
Lincoln,
Yes.
Howard,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Kaplan,
Yes.
Roneski,
Yes.
Puglielli,
Yes.
Chairman Beal.
Yes. Okay, will someone offer?
I'll make a motion for a positive resolution.
Second.
Fuller,
Yes.
Lincoln,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Kaplan,
Yes.
Roneski,
Yes.
Puglielli,
Yes.
Chairman Beal.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay, our new case is Fallis Family Trust, Block 60, Lot 13, 800 Monmouth Road, Ocean, R4. Applicant proposes to construct an addition to the existing second floor. The property does not meet the required lot depth. The dwelling is pre-existing non-conforming and that it does not meet the required rear yard setback. Minimum rear yard setback 30 feet requires 26.3 inches exists. 26.3 inches proposed. Although existing dwelling is non-conforming in that it violates required rear yard setback, The proposed addition further extends the violation. And the attorney is Thomas J. Hirsch.
Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, and I'm going to mark the packet. And we will hear from Mr. Higgins.
And this is another application where the applicant is, again, going vertically up without increasing the horizontal distance of the setback violation. There is one small addition that's being tucked into a corner of the house. The house is not straight along the back, it does have a jog. That small addition is being tucked into the corner, but again, that's the setback of that addition is actually greater than the setback of other portions of the house. So I really don't have a problem with it. It's an irregularly shaped lot, and I think we're just trying to make the place better.
Okay, Mr. Matlack?
I don't have any engineering concerns.
Okay. Mr. Hirsch?
Good evening. Thank you. Obviously, Mr. Higgins, I think, has pretty well covered the thrust of the planning and zoning variances required. I'd like to call Mr. Ercolino, Anthony Ercolino, as the architect to give the board a sense of exactly what you heard verbally is on the plan in relationship to the rear property line and the property to the rear, to show that there's clearly no impact by these improvements. So I'd like to call Mr. Ercolino.
Okay, Mr. Ercolino, if you can raise your right hand, do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth?
Yes.
Okay. And have you testified before this board previously?
I'm pretty sure I've been here.
Okay. Okay. Thought so.
And you're currently a licensed architect in the state of New Jersey?
I am.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please tell us about the.
I want you to go to the board with the microphone and just take us through, take the board through, what's there, what the where the additions that Mr. Higgins referred to in his report exist in relation to the rear property line and to the property behind that.
Okay. The existing two-family portion or two-story portion of the house is the main box of the house, and then there's a breezeway and then a two-car garage. The addition that we're doing is the second floor addition is over top of the breezeway, and what was a garage is now going to be turned into a master suite. And then there's a small addition towards the rear here that will go the full two-story height. Now that's what they were referencing with the 26.5 to the corner of the main two-story portion of the house, and the 26.3 to the existing garage, and then 26.6 to that new addition. So it's kind of a sawtooth, kind of following the line of the property line.
And as you said, Mr. Higgins said it's an irregular lot, so that rear property line runs on a sharp angle that you've just shown, correct?
Correct.
And that's what changes the actual setback. So the portion of those structures actually violating the setback is really a small portion of those structures because the line keeps getting further away as it moves along.
Triangular shapes. There's a portion, this little triangle here that crosses over, and this little triangle here over the existing garage that crosses over the setback line.
And the to the rear, explain to the board what's on the lot behind where these this rear lot variance is.
For the most part, it faces out towards the empty rear yard of the neighboring home.
That other home faces where?
Yeah, it faces Joda.
Okay.
Joda Road.
And that home's a substantial distance from this proposed improvement, correct?
Yeah, it's about 40 feet from the existing house, maybe 45 feet from the addition, the two-story addition that we're doing, and then even further to the corner of the garage.
Okay. Thank you. That's pretty much the basis architecturally of what the setback variance is and why it exists, because we already have the garage essentially at that setback line. So that's where the structure is. You're going to build on top of it. You're going to have that same setback. Thank you.
Okay.
I do have the representatives of a homeowner here, but so if we have any further questions, I'm happy to call them. But I think based on Mr. Higgins' report and Mr. Ercolino's testimony, he covered the variance issue.
Questions?
Just one. If I'm understanding the demolition plan over the proposed plan, that little nook that Jim was talking about, that gets built in that primary bedroom, like the piece, I guess that's the only real addition to the floor plan.
Correct.
That's not in the setback, right? That's outside of the setback.
there's a portion of it that is within the setback. This is the first floor plan, so there's an angle that kind of cuts across here.
Okay.
So this corner is over because the property line is like this. So it's no closer to the property line than this point or this point.
Got it. Okay.
The facade will match the rest of the house
Yes,
And roof?
and roof. Yeah.
and the roof, yes. Yeah,
Can't forget
there
about
was
the
no
roof.
discussion about changing the whole house, siding or roofing, it's all staying.
Any other questions from the board? Questions from the public? Motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion. Close.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Kimura,
Yes.
DeGenero,
Yes.
Kaplan,
Yes.
Leneski,
Yes.
Ruggieri,
Yes.
Yes. Okay, will someone offer?
I'll offer positive resolution.
Second.
Fuller,
Yes.
Whitman,
Yes.
Kimura,
Yes.
DeGenero,
Yes.
Kaplan, yes, Leneski,
Yes.
Ruggieri,
Yes.
Chairwoman Hill.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great holiday.
You too. Okay, our last case, Joseph and Sharon Savdi, block 61.06, lot 15, 517 Palmer Avenue, West Allenhurst, R5. Excuse me. Applicant seeks approval to partially convert an existing detached garage into a cabana. Accessory buildings over 150 square feet cannot exceed 15 feet in height and must maintain the required 15% of lot width or 11.25 feet side setback and 30 feet rear setback. 19.5 feet height exists, 19.5 height proposed. 2.7 feet side exists, 2 feet side proposed. 3 feet rear exists, 3 feet rear proposed. The detached garage is pre-existing non-conforming in that it exceeds the minimum height and does not meet the required side and rear yard setbacks. No building or structure, part thereof, shall hereinafter be erected, structurally altered, enlarged, or rebuilt except in conformity. And the attorney is Mr. Robert T. Farber.
Thank
Good
you, Madam
evening.
Chairman, and ladies and gentlemen of the board. I know Mr. Higgins is going to give his spiel in a minute, but very, very briefly. I just want to clarify something. Mr. Matlack's on the report. There's no variance required for the pool that's proposed or the patio around it. This is solely for purposes of converting the pre-existing garage to a pool house, in part and part garage. It should be noted that the actual configuration in terms of the size, the roof, the height, the location is not changing. It is merely going to be knock a wall out, make a cabana out of part of it, but in terms of coverage, there's no change. I do have Mr. Levin here to testify and describe. We were just, he's possibly still sworn in, even though not for this matter, so. And because there was a concern potentially about some drainage concerns, I do have the engineer, designer here, to testify, Mr. Scotland if required. And I've spoken my piece. Jim, your turn.
I'm in the right pew now on this one. Basically, I'm taking a garage that exceeds the 150 square foot, which is the threshold for them allowing them to have it 5 feet off the property line. And the 15 feet in height it also exceeds. So it's required to meet the front and side and rear yard setbacks of the principal structure, and the garage doesn't. Its setback, side setback is 2.7 feet, where I believe the side setback is 11.24 feet is required, and the rear setback is 30 feet and 3 feet exists. So they're basically just taking the existing garage, they're changing a portion of it for a cabana and leaving a portion of it as a garage. There's no expansion of the garage. It's gonna be made to look a lot nicer. I think when I look at the architecture, it's gonna be much more attractive. And it's really a technical variance because they're changing the use and making some changes. And the ordinance says if you make any changes, you need variances if you're not conforming.
Okay. And we'll mark the packet before Mr. Matlack.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So my engineering comments did not have to do with the garage, as Mr. Farber indicated. They had to do with the future in-ground pool, which I'm assuming is to be built at the same time as the garage conversion. Mostly that there was a discrepancy between the survey and the plan showing whether or not there was an existing fence. I asked that the type of fence and the height should be specified, and then if there were any drainage impacts, and how stormwater would be collected or handled so that it would not negatively impact the neighboring properties.
Any concerns such as those, we can abide by any conditions of approval. In terms of the pool, though, that is again not part of the application. It is only for the garage conversion. And I might add that I think the code official would probably address a lot of that when the pool is ultimately built. So I don't know that that's a variance matter regarding the pool and the drainage for it. If you'd like to address it, we're prepared to. But I don't think that's a concern because that would be compliance in the construction of the pool. But if you're ready, I can present Mr. Levin, who has sworn before and is beautifying Ocean Township one house at a time.
I'm my artist.
Mr. Levin, you're a licensed architect. You need to be sworn in.
Do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth?
I do.
Okay.
Licensed architect of the state of New Jersey?
Yes.
Since 2007?
Correct.
Associated with Bobby Hazelrig?
Correct.
And you've testified before this board numerous times, including about an hour ago.
Correct.
Yes, Madam Chairman, that Mr. Levin be allowed to testify.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
An expert. And Mr. Levin, would you kindly describe for the board exactly what you're looking to do, what the client is looking to do with the garage?
Okay, we have an existing two-car garage, two overhead doors with a side entrance. In the back, there's a ship's ladder that goes up to a loft. So what we'd like to do is the left side, which will be closest to the yard and the pool, convert that into a cabana. The loft access would be removed. They want to open up the ceiling of the cabana side. The loft side will remain on the garage side, and there'll be a pull-down stair for attic access for storage. The outside, on the front, there's a hipped roof, which is in bad shape, so they're going to remove that and match the existing roof just to square it off. The entire structure will be re-sided in a stucco finish to match the house, which is in the process of being redone. So it'll match the house. The roofing will be redone to match the house also. That's it. There's some existing windows that have been previously removed that are covered with plywood. Those are going to be removed and filled in properly, so everything is nice and clean and finished.
Okay.
Nothing further.
Okay.
If the board has any questions regarding water or flow, I do have Mr. Lynn here if you require it. But
Okay.
again, I think that's something that would go with compliance with code officials when the pool is built. It's not really a variance issue.
Mr. Steinberg, just a question. Because it was part of the report about the drainage and stormwater, should we have them?
It's up to Matt, because we're gonna.
Ben.
Ben.
Bill.
It's really up to Ben, but that's gonna have to be compliant when they go for their permit, right?
The pool itself will have to be compliant. A grading issue, I think maybe we can, if the engineer is here, I think we can hear from him just to get it on the record.
Okay.
You can have a seat.
Hi.
I think when you construct a pool, you have to do a grading plan anyway.
Yeah,
Submit it.
the plan that was provided does show proposed grades. it's a little unclear to me exactly how the drainage patterns are going to work. So I think some testimony would benefit.
Okay.
All right, could you please swear in Mr. Lynn?
Mr. Lynn, do you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth?
Yes.
Okay. And
Mr. Lynn, you have 35 years experience civil engineering work. You've testified before this board as an expert and many times in the past, am I correct?
I have not appeared before this particular board, but I have appeared before many other boards in the state of New Jersey.
Ah, I thought you were in Ocean Township.
No, it was not. It was the first time.
We'll accept.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Lynn, you were privy to the discussion about drainage and water flow concerns pertaining to the proposed pool. Could you just discuss and address that, please?
Absolutely. So there's actually two plans that have been prepared by myself on behalf of DS Engineering, where I'm an engineer for. The plan that you have in front of you is for the addition, which is the addition site plan, which covers what we're discussing here this evening. Previously, there was a pool grading plan prepared, and as Mr. Farber said, this is being submitted under a separate application. As part of the plan, when I prepared the pool grading plan, there is a trench drain which perimeters, if you will, the proposed patio, which would be of a tile surface. That trench drain would intercept any runoff onto any of the other adjoining properties and is directed to the street via a pop-up emitter. So to address Ben's comment, I think that should suffice.
I think that's acceptable.
Wonderful.
Okay. Any other questions? From
Could
the board?
could you send me a copy, or do you have a copy of that?
I believe a copy has been submitted to the town already.
I don't think I received a copy of that grading plan,
Right.
so that
We don't believe you.
could be.
Right. We don't believe it. Also, just to clarify as well, in addition to Ben's report, I did receive a report from Greg Glash, which I've already addressed his comments and submitted the plans, and they should be forthcoming any day now. So I believe we've addressed all the engineering comments, both from Greg Blash and from Ben.
Okay. Any other questions?
Question for Jim or Ben. I didn't see anything in the reports, but is there any concern about reduction in off-street parking by losing?
I did look at it, and there's a very long driveway, so
Okay.
there's plenty of parking.
Okay.
Any other questions?
The long driveways, that's a characteristic of this neighborhood, right? Mr. Farber, do you know the neighboring behind, is there a garage, like mirroring where this garage soon to be?
I don't know the answer to that question, but my clients would if you would like to ask them.
The house right next door has a very long driveway and no garage. I'm looking at a Google aerial right now.
And behind it?
That's
behind it. I
Yes,
imagine
it goes
I
behind
imagine
the
there's one
house, yes.
kind of mirroring it, right?
Yeah.
So it won't bother anybody.
Any other questions? Questions from the public? Okay, motion to close the public hearing.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second.
You're on fire tonight.
Yes.
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 Kaplan? Yes. Romansky?
Yes.
Violi?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, will someone offer?
I'll offer a positive resolution.
I will second.
Even if it was me.
We're done.
Fuller?
For Mr. Kirk's last vote of the year's here. Yes.
Littman?
Yes.
Mora?
Yes.
Murrow?
Yes.
Kaplan? Yes. Romansky?
Yes.
Chair Violi?
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And before we adjourn, the parade will now come in for Mr. Kurt,
Thank you.
who I know
Thank
would
you.
be mortified, but thank you for your service, Mr. Kurt.
Thank you.
Now, to give you instruction, we would like to thank you for.
And And a motion to adjourn.
Yeah.
All motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.